Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to Cilinix Crypto. Hope you're all doing great, and welcome to this new video here on Ondo. Wanted to do a full update. We'll talk about the technicals. We'll talk a little bit about the fundamentals. I won't go too much into depth about that, and I also don't think that's necessary. But that's what we're going to do. So let's get right into it. I'll try to be realistic. I also have an area of the price where I think you should be quite interested in. So if you're interested in more Ondo updates, which I try to cover at least once a week, consider subscribing. That's always you're always welcome. But for now, let's get right into it. So first of all, fundamentally, I'm still a big fan of Ondo. Now I know Ondo has a very strong community. I've seen some voices and some sentiment from the community that is a little bit angered with Ondo because obviously, I mean, if you compare the price action for Ondo since the beginning of March, it has been stable, right? I mean, it's not that Ondo is crashing a lot. And if you compare Ondo to for example, where it dropped down here the 3rd of February, it's still trading relatively high compared to other altcoins. But obviously, during the bullish momentum of the end of April and the beginning of May, Ondo hasn't really rallied, and it's ultimately always failed to break out. So I understand that, but I think the fundamentals for Ondo are still very impressive. I mean, the TVL is still growing. It's right now $1.31 billion almost. Which I also think, then it starts to make a little bit more sense when Ondo is at a 2.6 billion market cap. And then you could almost make the argument, especially if you compare it with other crypto projects with this TVL, that it's a little bit undervalued. I mean, it might just be interesting to actually take a look. If we take a look at Ethereum, for example, and we take a look at something that has a similar TVL right here, something you can look at is, Rocket Pool is a little bit higher. There's no great example, Maple Finance, but I know Maple Finance is trading lower with market cap, so that's a bad example. Maple, no, that's Syrup, right? Yeah, so that's at a $450 million market cap. I think that's more of an example. That Syrup is very good. But if you take something like Rocket Pool or Curve, Curve is trading right now at no, those are all trading lower. All right, well, a bad argument. We're not going to talk about that anymore. But ultimately, I still think, especially also with the news and the developments that Ondo are going to do in 2025 and their connections in the US for a potential, decentralized equities exchange, for example, I still think fundamentally the current valuation and Ondo specifically as a project makes sense. However, technically, we are in a range, right? On the daily time frame, you can see we are mostly in a range between 1.05 and then at the bottom, this level right here, at 80 cents. And that is also where I think the main opportunity comes in, because you can see on the 4-hour time frame that within the range, we are in a clear downtrend, right? We're respecting the 4-hour downtrend. We're respecting the 7-day rolling VWAP. We had a decent reaction from the value area high right here, but it was capped at the trend plus the POC. So that's a bearish confirmation technically. So I think it's quite likely, and that's also slightly in line with what's possible for Bitcoin, that we are going to be dropping down lower. However, both technically and fundamentally, I don't think a bearish breakout is deserved. Deserved is for the lack of a better words. But I don't think it's like the fundamentals and the technicals suggest a bearish breakdown, right? So then you have this amazing support level at 75 cents, which, as you can see historically, you have a third touch there. 75 cents is a psychological support level. It's a technical support level. It's a psychological support. I already said that. But you also still have a fair value gap there. I think that is a buying opportunity. I'll keep you updated on that. For now, I actually think it's likely we will stay above that. I don't think we're going to drop down into that. I think it's more likely we will consolidate around the price levels we are at right now. But definitely an area to watch. And I still think fundamentally Ondo is a great project to watch and potentially accumulate, but that's up to you as well. So those are my thoughts. I think that's what you need to know for today. Like I said, if you're interested in more Ondo updates, consider subscribing. That's up to you. For now, thank you for watching. Take care and bye.